So Akash, could you tell us a bit about Quest and what's its orientation in India?
Yeah, I think the underlying philosophy of Quest is to be able to bring together people from different walks of life who share a common interest and passion in using technology in education, and creating that creative tension between these different stakeholders, which we feel is currently missing in the discourse of education and technology
So
use
what's
in
the output?
schools.
What's the output specifically now? Is it coming out in the form of educational software, something more, or what?
It is one is to create knowledge sharing platforms and a learning community which is closely connected through physical interactions like this symposium, but also through virtual platforms. So that's one. Two is to be able to do specific research on some of the specific thematic areas that have been discussed here, which this learning community can use in their workspace, in their own domains.
What would be some of the main achievements of Quest so far if you have to list them?
I think
In specific projects or
I think you've seen, I mean, a diversity of projects where we've looked at different kinds of technology mediums. We've looked at Video Shala, which is a community-based video production for education in rural schools. We've looked at a mobile phone-based solution for teachers in rural West Bengal, which is a call center for rural teachers. We've also looked at a digital life skills toolkit, which empowers the facilitator with digital tools to facilitate life skills sessions for out of school youth more effectively in the classroom.
in Bangalore.
In based in it's in Andhra. This project is in Andhra Pradesh, but also in other parts of the country.
Of all the stakeholders, who is going ahead and who's doing the most for education and who are lagging behind?
Well, that's
tough. Okay.
That's a tough question, but I don't know. I mean,
let me put it differently. Are the teachers doing enough? Is the private sector doing enough? Or does everyone need to
I
do
think,
more?
I mean, I personally think the private sector needs to take a more proactive role in engaging, especially the technology-enabled private sector. The technology companies need to take a much more proactive role in terms of looking at non-linear growth models and looking at how they can create an ecosystem which will hopefully in the future have the access to technology, and how technology companies have enabled this ecosystem. I think that's important.
A lot of mismatch between the different players in that sense. They're not getting connected, and the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. How do you solve that problem?
I think there have been quite a lot of initiatives like the UN Solution Exchange, like hopefully this platform that Quest is trying to create for people to converge around that issue. I think it's a little more deep rooted than that. I think it's that the nature of our perception of how do we want to design a particular idea, or how do we want to do, how multidisciplinary are we just caught in thinking about a certain direction, and we are not open to hearing other people and other ideas, or are we being inclusive, and it is a part of the interactions we have with various people. I think it goes back in my mind to school, in how we learn and in how we've been taught. What has been the role of art, what has been the role of sport, what has been the role of technology in our learning, and how has that collaborative environment, or how has that environment helped us imbibe some of those values to be able to actually manifest it in an environment.
And lastly, as far as Quest goes, what are its priorities for now in the immediate future?
I think there are two priorities. One is doing research on the use of technology in education, taking stock of what's happened, and then coming up with insights around the future for technology use in India and the education system in India, which a lot of the stakeholders can use and hopefully integrate those insights into what they're doing. And the other is looking at youth and looking at how young people can really think about technology solutions for education. How can there be entrepreneurial ideas which can be nurtured through our platform by supporting them in innovation, incubation of these ideas, because I believe that entrepreneurial-led solutions, we need more entrepreneurial-led solutions, and that's going to be critical for the future. So those are the two big things that we are thinking about.
Thanks so much.